then if we're here, visions themselves are more. If anything looks this way, then we could bring question into each day to then say that something doesn't want to see it that way. Well, is actually more. For I mean, at that moment, the moment itself seems to be questioned, right? Except for now, it's like the moment of going around. Which, if we're able to connect the dots to some, then okay, I know what enjoying is. When every single thing that I would then hear, but if I am to make this something that is sure,
securely from the comfort of your own home. My gluten-free wife, Lauren, has been using BetterHelp for the better part of the last year, and she's had an overwhelmingly positive experience with it. Personally, I'm not very good at dealing with stress, so going into 2022, one of my main mental health goals was to figure that out. So Lauren's recommendation for BetterHelp seemed like a really good fit. Based on just a few questions, BetterHelp was able to assess what my needs were and then immediately match me with a professional licensed therapist. From there, your therapist gets in contact with you within 48 hours, so you can either set up an appointment right away or send them a direct message if you had a question. If you've ever tried to become a new patient with a therapist, then you know that it can take weeks to even months to get an appointment, and then from there it can take weeks to months to figure out if that therapist is going to be a good fit for you. With BetterHelp, it's super easy to switch therapists if you're not gelling, and it doesn't cost you anything. Thank you, BetterHelp.
So, this was supposed to be another meeting.
But we opened a
Miro board instead.
all our work
Ideas and feedback
From the whole team.
All in one place.
We use Miro pretty much every day.
for brainstorms, mind maps, flowcharts.
we can access it from anywhere.
Real time or anytime.
It's a teamwork thing.
Join the 40 million people who
Who've already discovered a new way to work.
Miro. Try it for free.
At Miro.com.
but I mean, really, if you are in the moment, what would you do? So then in saying we're hearing and in seeing something blind, already right there is something to find. Like, if we could just say something else, that itself would be like, oh, this can be a mystery up on the shelf. But funny thing is that mysteries themselves, they seem to be really, isn't it kind of odd? The ability to for then try to get into something. Try to get into something that really it's just like you're not that into. Is the book or the film where the money's at? It's like I mean, we've got arms and muscles and or will I use reason to grab onto you? Because it's almost like in every instance we were weaker. We can talk about getting the ball rolling. We can talk about getting the bell tolling. We can talk about study. And again, things to find. Going then back to seeing something blind. I mean, it's official when you hear someone say something that, if you heard another way, would be something big in the day. But I mean, if it's done right, then it's like, hey, you're all right, is really all they're saying. I think that's kind of what they mean. Oh man, did I get it? Oh, he gets it. Like, why would we hold up our hands in the first place? You know? Then it's like this is the slow fast. Or a long fast. Ask. Like, asking is then the greatest. The fear then that something actually might grab your ear. What's the purpose for all these ways? Can exist in this way, but not that. Like, we wouldn't even... Or am I misbehaving? Like trying to sneak around. As if there is something always to be found. Taunts and jests. Where else would words be this hard pressed? Some continual offensive. Then there's always a notion of someone who gets something that you don't. Like it's all some great joke. But if you really were to lighten up, would you get it then? Maybe you'd just be going so fast that it wouldn't necessarily matter when. There's always the possibility for that. Then maybe I could just catch up rather than ask. Goes and does 500 jumping jacks. Runs on tracks. Doesn't even bother to run down the stairs. Slides down rails. It's a little more risky, but I mean, we're trying to get down as fast as we can. And I mean, obviously, rails are part of the plan. Taking into consideration all the crazed nations. Again, just one off. Like everything's relative. Up until some point. Then consider what is a winner. Is there reason for sinners? Is there such thing as a good joke? Oi there, bloke. People played seriously. Like they've figured out some great mystery. Maybe if I want to be stable, if I want to be something that knows what tables are for. Maybe I just should or shouldn't go on. Something that's like a rabbit hole's furlong. Because, sure, I mean, I can make sense of it in many ways, but then maybe it's just simply interaction that pays. Like, no matter how silly a thing can get, it must somehow be physical yet. Really though, could I take this then to the place that it doesn't care? Like, from that place, I'd be able to perceive any there? Like, I could just engage myself. Somehow tell my hands that there's some mysterious part of me on the shelf. Then it would just be like lifting up my own hand, wouldn't it? Then standing somewhere and maybe start over again. I need to go find something from some level 1. Like, certain parts of me are what go around. And other parts are what have yet to be found. Then I could make a mystery right now of myself, speaking this way. Like, certain parts of me are projections at play. Taking the amount of reason that I use to seize them. I wonder if I could use this to provide some way of lifting them up. Or projecting to someday out, far in front. How do I convince them being there is the blunt. And while I'm here, that's the stunt. I wonder yet, what is the most mysterious part of me? One that might make the mysterious parts my part, you see? Like, I could say that if there was any reason for me, why would I need to lift anything up? I question. Wouldn't it be like being before reason? And the greater the reason was, it would be easier than just because. For it would be like it already was. Then at that point, I can say that certain parts aren't necessarily me. For it's like they take work and they are heavy. Then it's like, should I take them off somehow? Well, how would I do that? Maybe by giving them more reason. Though, is it really all things in their season? If so, then I'm just waiting here. While trying to top the dream. Make it so that anything that says it can top is basically topping. So how do I top myself? basically. Is it through some sort of work? Some expression of work done? Is popping itself more risk or fun? Oh man, now I remember. I actually know what it's like. When the pressure is on. It's actually like a moment where the moment is gone. For nothing is really engaging you. They're simply staging you. Then it's like this moment right here is set on some grand stage. I used to go to such places in my life every once in a while. But then again, even there it becomes less like a play. And simply more things in the way. Then I guess I could always clean. But then it would be like I'd be blind from seeing what blinds me. Because all the blank space would be blinding. Featuring Bree. You're on the mic, Bree. She's a little shy, you see? There's a bunch out in the shop, in that storage room. You want to say anything to the mic, Bree? You don't got like a catchphrase or anything? Alright, well we can work on that. then it would be like maybe I had more reason, you know what I mean? Because it wouldn't all just be looks. But then maybe I'd be able to see so far across spaces. That I would think, man, there are so many other places. And every would just be trying to keep clean. And I'd go there and they'd clean me.
Work goes smoothly when you know the right steps. With Asana, you can coordinate tasks across teams and stay on track, so your team can spend more time celebrating wins. Try it for free at asana.com.
Oh, I'm getting so close to actually coming to some reaction to this action. I mean, who's gonna say that this isn't actually some way? That itself might be just like the perception. Like in this place out of order. Catch phrases are the border. Word banks and word seeds. Then when one person says all these words, there can be other words featuring. We'll work on it. I'm sure there's something I could practice. But you see, the practice itself is with words to please them. How do I please the words? How do I appease to them? Should I build some great statue? To all of these characters? You see how much work that would take? And already it seems to drain me. And then every other way I could represent this is just so plainly that in fact it would be like totally taking me out. Like I should then honor some great plane. But that itself is something that refrains. Maybe I could go buy a new pair of shoes. That itself walks across the Great Plains. Like I said again, what part of me is actually mystery? It might feel kind of good to go walk in the rain, get my feet wet in the puddles. Oh man, the seasons again. Like I've never experienced things here before. How long has it been since we've knocked on this season's door? Maybe I should do like what I said, climb a tree and find some childhood favorite of these things. I mean, if I really am going to top myself, it would be like spinning what I know. Wouldn't you know? So I wonder, is there some great top that I can talk about? Like where all the tragedy of this house is almost held in what could have been, what is now shelved. Trips and travels, romance and battles. Then the real thing seems to come out. There's escapes. And there's intos. And there's others. And sometimes there's even somewhere that we shouldn't go. Like things that exist that we shouldn't show. Maybe if I could stand it. Maybe if I could just get a hand on it. But it's like, if it goes around me, would I know what to go for? Maybe I should just dig some more. Dig deep until it's like I'm in a well. But maybe that's what I'm coming out of. Has it been hell? Maybe I should just go real slow. Or maybe I'm too good to know. Maybe it's something bad. This thing, it's so middle. Some would say mid. Spoke to an edgelord the other day. He wondered why I had something to say. And then he messaged me. Then maybe there'd only be so much I could say. Would that be worse than not knowing what to say? Not even knowing? That you didn't know? Oh yeah, I'm just a little kid. Don't you guys know it? I'm just a little kid. Seriously. I mean, why should I be able to even know what I see? I'm just a little kid. Why do you guys expect that of me? But the funny thing is that if I can tell you how it is that I'm just a kid, then is that worse or better? Am I better off in just taking off? Oh. And it's actually kind of funny. Like, the moment can be there. The understood. Then maybe we're just playing baseball. I should go grab a bat of wood. Try to find what's moving. I'll swat the fly. But I already caught a bug, no lie. You heard me go outside. What do you think I was doing? Throwing it out there. The brain's in the sky, and here's an air bubble. My mouth with sweets. So many sounds. I could even bring this to the edge. Is just the ability to funny trying to read things when you listen to something that basically 7 minutes. Oh, and I've been tested. Like, where is the advantage, night or day? Maybe if I could dedicate something to each and every way. Like if I was to go and all of a sudden create some magic in my space, and rather than have books about things all over the place, I'd dedicate one to Missense, one to the night, one to the day, and one to the fight. I'd say and label a book. This one is for the directions my legs should have took, literally with those words on the front cover. I'd have 5, like there's always something no one's doing, but it seems like, why is nobody doing this, you know? Then it takes it all back to square one. Like seriously, it can get really strange, really weird when you actually come to the place where you could perform things like that. And supposedly, you're something that's been alive this long or whatever. Never even heard of it. Labels journals with all these studies. That aren't even weird.
That's my phrase.
I'm just doing a voice journal right now.
Oh, is that right?
You wanna do like a podcast with me? We can just turn it into a podcast.
I'll be a feature.
Yeah, featuring.
Be featured.
All right. Well, welcome to the podcast, everybody. Careful what you play though, because we don't want any copyrights or anything on our podcast. Whoa, hey, cut it out. I got to cloud out this music on this podcast. I'll yell louder than this song for however long it takes, because I'm not letting this song get broken by the other sounds in the room. I got to read the room, and if the room is telling me I got to yell, then I'm going to yell like I'm down in a well. Hello! Hey, can you hear me over there? Hey, the part of Weston that wants to play fair. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Watch this video.
I'm gonna. Is it gonna mess up my video? Hey, Weston! Hey, over there, God! Hey, can you hear me over there? Can you hear me over there, Weston? Can you hear me over there?
It is finished.
Would you like a drink? Anything?
What you got?
Airhead. We might have some Airhead bubblegum. Bowie might have had the last of it.
What do you want to drink? We might have some Airhead bubble gum.
I said, do you want to, like, do you want something to drink? Because that seemed like a normal thing for a podcast. But then I don't think we have anything to drink.
Gotcha. It's funny to talk down here because the drums make it, like, reverberate. Do you hear that?
I think drums add a real big atmosphere to any room.
Can I look like a guy with a plan?
Shut up.
I was listening to a podcast. I was listening to
Oh,
Billy
yeah.
Dan. It's pretty satisfying to have 2 massive bags of poop. You know, never thought I'd say that sentence. What?
They call them the Poop Smith.
Dude, I was tired though, man. Oh, I know. I never watched this, but I know what it is.
Yeah, I used to watch it all the time when I was younger.
Maybe I did watch it.
One of the guys on there reminds me of Danny.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. 100%, dude.
Strong Bad and The Cheat.
Yeah, there's a bunch
Strong
of
Sad.
characters. It's like super old cartoons. They're called like Joe cartoons and stuff like that.
Interesting.
I had a weird thought about dog poop the other day on the lawn. Underneath like all the snow.
Did what?
I said I had a weird
Dream about dog poop on
weird
the lawn?
thought. No, it wasn't a dream. It was just like I was like out walking around in the snow. I just had a weird thought. And I was like thinking, it's like underground pipes, dude.
Oh, poop?
Yeah, I was like all the dogs are just indoor plumbing or something like that, or like that's what I was like thinking.
What? I don't understand.
I was like, well, just if I was to like to try and reduce the thought, it's like in our realities we have concepts of like inside and outside, right?
Oh, okay.
And so basically what I was actually thinking was comfortability or creature comforts, as we say in like 21st century stuff, you know what I mean? What that's actually based off of is us trying to mix outside stuff with inside stuff. And then I feel like animals become the scapegoats for that concept because we're always trying to, what is the old saying, like, and it's pie day as well, have our pie and eat it too, or what is it? What's the actual saying?
You're just trying to squeeze in a pie.
And I think the animals become like the scapegoats for that stuff. And I think that like,
You mean like the mechanism for it?
yeah, it's just it's like this, it's like, I think the reality's all just these symbols for a lot of different things, you know what I mean?
Scapegoat, I think
It's like no problem to just do more dirty work or something like that. So it's like just about crossing over the line or something. And so then at that point in time, they might not be as like scapegoats more as they actually are like companions. So I just think it's like the Red Rover game, blue collar, white collar stuff or whatever. But I think however what side of the fence you're on or whatever, it's going to be like either like scapegoats or like companions. But I think that all comes down to like where your moment is or where your mind is.
you gotta dumb it down. You lost me.
Relation itself, I think, comes to a point of where you have to make something up. So I might just be getting to that. But I think the most basic thing I was trying to say was that I just think that like, which is just like the whole saying of like trying to bake your cake and eat it too. Side too.
Yeah, that's a good point. We want to enjoy the outside, but having them anyway, yeah, that's fun. But you mentioned something that I thought was, I had a little tangent thought, like, what is inside and outside?